fresher than whole, riddle me that. The rest of y'all know where I'm lyrically at. Can none of y'all mirror me back? Yeah, hear me rappers like Hand G rapping his prime. I'm Young H.O., raps Grateful Dead, back to take over the globe, now break bread. I'm in Boeing Jets, Global Express, out the country but the blueberries still connect. On the low but the yacht got a triple deck, but when you young what the fuck you expect? Yep. Grand opening, grand closing. Goddamn your manhole, crack the can open again. Who you gonna find open a hand with no pen? Just draw inspiration. Who you gonna see you can't replace him with cheap imitations of these generations. Hardcore, do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll. Yeah. Now what the hell are you waiting for? After me, there should be no more. So for one last time, nigga, make some noise. What the hell are you waiting for? Look what you made me do, look what I made for you. Knew if I paid my dues, how will they pay you? When you first come in the game, they try to play you. Then you drop a couple of hits, look how they wave to you. From Marcy to Madison Square, to the only thing that matters is just a matter of years. As fate would have it, J status appears to be at an all-time high. Perfect time to say goodbye. When I come back like Jordan, wearing the 4-5. It ain't to play games with you, it's to aim at you, probably maim you. If I owe you, I'm blowing you to smithereens. Cocksucker, take one for your team, and I need you to remember one thing. I came, I saw, I conquered. From record sales, sold out concerts. So motherfucker, if you want this encore, I need you to scream till your lungs are sore. Come on.
I'm tired of being what you want me to be. Feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me, but under the pressure of walking in your shoes. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. And every second I waste is more than I can take. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you.
How's everybody doing today on this Monday? So kind, so mine. February 7th, not 2021, but it's 2020. I don't know why. Ever since my board went down, I've been trying to do this with a little mixed minus. Fuck if I know. For 2022. Welcome to the show. Good morning to everybody in the interwebs. I hope everybody is doing well. I am Bull, along with the BRL. I am the president, the owner, the operator, the guy who's in charge, the guy who does everything and everything with this particular project. By the way, good morning to our listener. I'm a butcher it too. Sanya? Sanya? Good morning to you, by the way. Thank you for shouting good morning. Welcome to the show. I want to thank everybody who's listened to the show, all the new listeners, all the old listeners. We really appreciate you joining us and listening to my blabber as we go along on this journey of expositions and exposés and stories and rhetorics that make this world what it is today. That's another thing with this channel. I do a thing called Bull's Thoughts, and I haven't done it in a while. I know it says Bull and the Bartender Show, but I didn't have really time to kind of get things working. But I know it says Bull and the Bartender Show, like I said, but Bull's Thoughts, if you don't know, is just sort of a way for me to get out some, I don't know, thoughts, some different viewpoints. It might touch a few people out there. It might get them a little upset, but it's my opinion, and unfortunately, listen. I'll listen to anybody's opinion without a doubt. But if you don't like my opinion and you think that I'm stupid, then there's other channels to listen to. You don't have to listen to mine. But I want you to listen. I implore you to listen because I like your opinion, and that's what Bull's Thoughts is about. So one of the things that I had a lot of questions about, and it's not that I don't understand the moniker, because I do. I understand it. And one of the verbiages, and I think that's one of the verbiages that people don't realize, is that no matter how you say it, it still means the same thing, no matter if you're part of the conversation or not. So when you sit there and characterize, like, for example, the biggest thing that sort of, I guess, bothers me is when the generations nowadays get so mad over the most smallest things, in the world, and they don't know how to just to stop and chill out and just think rationally. There's a lot of people that I've met that get offended by calling them into a millennial type moniker. They get really offended by that, which I don't understand that. I mean, you're your own person. Who cares what people think if you're a millennial? And I call the people that are millennials or people who are sitting there going, "Oh, woe is me, I can't do nothing," it's, I always get offended by what people say and blah, blah, blah. Does it really matter? I mean, I guess I look at it to where, how much do you get offended by stuff like that? Like, I guess for me, I don't get offended by a lot of that stuff because, I don't care. It's words. The old saying, sticks and stones may hurt me, but your words won't. It's a cliche, but it still works. If we didn't get upset over the most dumbest things in the world, I think that we would have a better society. I think that people would look at things differently. It's almost like I was talking to another colleague of mine about this whole COVID-19 thing. And we were talking about how people are just so paranoid and how people are just so unrighteously understanding about what's going on. And then you've got the other side of the fence where people are just so narcissistic about it and so insane that they're going to go crazy if somebody coughs on them. We're heading towards a downhill spiral. We're heading towards, I don't think that we can ever, pull back from. Everybody wants to recycle and make the world a better place, recycling, and come up with all these different ideas and that. But listen, it's been how long since we started this whole recycling project? And I think that's a losing battle too. Because how much more can you recycle? I think that there's just some things you gotta let go. And it all ties back to what people say. People are heartless, people are rude, people say things they don't mean, and I get that. I mean, it's very hard when you have that. But for people to get upset over something that just not really worth getting upset about. Like, I mean, really, there are times that to worry about things, and there's times not to worry about things. One of my colleagues was telling me about how they were very upset. They get mad about this, and I go, Well, that's cool. I respect that. You can get mad over that. But isn't there more stuff to be upset about or be worried about than what somebody says? Like your car payment, your house payment, kids, making sure you have food on the table. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I think there's a lot more things to be worried about than somebody does something for something. I mean, not physically. I mean, if they just verbally, I mean, yeah, it hurts. Don't get me wrong, but still, I mean, most of adults will just pass it off. Okay, whatever. But in life, sometimes you get lemons, and sometimes you get a lot of things that are amazing but unexpected, and you don't want to let it go. And it doesn't matter what's going on in each in particular lives. I mean, everybody has something going on. But, you know, I was talking to a very, wonderful friend of mine, best friend of mine, earlier this morning. And I was telling that there was a movie that I watched called City Slickers. And it's a movie based on, you know, I can't think of his name now. Billy Crystal, if you know him, he's the guy who plays the voice of Mikey from Monsters Incorporated. But I was making a sort of an example, I guess, and I said, in the movie, Billy Crystal is looking for that one, looking for that emptiness, and looking for, something to guide him back towards, um, back to his to bring his light back. And everybody has that. Everybody has, that light. Everybody had, no matter what you're going through, you still have that light, that you look for, that you dream about, that you acquire, you know, that you want to, be with that spark 24/7, no matter what it is. So in this movie, there's an old cowboy that has been doing ranching for, decades. That's all he ever knows. And Billy Crystal is sort of kind of making friends with him, and he tells Billy, he's like, there's only one thing that you need to be worried about in this world. And it's that one thing that you need to be concerned about. And Billy Crystal goes, well, what is that? What is that one thing? The old cowboy just looked up, peering with the sunset behind him. And he said, that's for you to find out. And that's for you to hold on to. Is that one thing. And that's what I think people have lost. They've lost that one thing, no matter what it is, that makes us have our spark. For some people, it's pets. For some people, it's love. For some people, it's having a companionship, a friend, a best friend. But if we lose that interest, if we lose that spark, where everybody has opinions, everybody has their own thing to do. Nobody is going to agree with everything. But if we remember that one thing, sometimes, that one thing is something they hold dear to their heart. But that one thing will keep you alive, will keep the hope growing, will keep you on the right path of what you want to achieve. Is there going to be bumps along the way? Of course. Is there going to be things to work out? Of course. Are we human? Sure. But if you have that one thing that only that one thing can guide you, then I think we would be at a better place. Because then that strikes hope. That strikes, coming out of the dark tunnel and into the light. And for some people, that's what they need. They need that hope. They need that feeling of comfort. They need that feeling of, warmth. It's a crazy dichotomy. We have so many different opinions, and so many far lefts and so many far rights. But really, you really shouldn't make choices based on how you believe. If you believe, there's an old saying that if you believe in something, eventually, for so long, eventually it'll come true. And that's what I think a lot of people have missed. Especially when they sit there and they let things go and they let people go from their lives and they come back. Because I think one of the old sayings too is like, if you let something go and they come back, then it was meant to be. And there's a lot of validity to that. And people forgot about that. If we have a better understanding of each other and not wanting to desperately try to fight each other off like we're a bunch of cave people for whatever it is that somebody else said. Maybe the aliens won't think of us as a truck stop anymore. Maybe they'll think of us as a normal planet. But it's up to you guys to decide on what you want to do. The people who are growing up in this generation, they are the keys to our survival. Because it is true. These people are running our country. They'll be running our country in some form or fashion. So if we're raising them to be a bunch of sissies, and I mean that facetiously, then what does that say for our culture? What does that say for our legacy? If something were to happen to this big blue rock of ours, because we can't be the only people here. I would be naive to say that we were. Then what happens to our society? What happens to our culture? What happens to our everyday lives? And what does other people think about us? Think about that. All right, when we come back, I'm going to take a quick break. Please don't go anywhere. On that dial, there's a lot more to talk about. I want you guys to chime in. So, yeah, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name again. Please chime in. Tell me what you think. I want to know if I'm on spot, if I'm not on spot. I want to know all those good things. This is really cool stuff. It's time to get serious. Have some smoke, have a drink, and just chill out. It's a Monday. Don't go anywhere. There's a lot more to come on Bull Spots. Haven't done it in a while. So I'm going to squeeze his with a grizz. Don't go away. Be back in a minute.
With ice on the horizon, knowing one day it's you. If you're lost, high up in the mountain tops, I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the light on. You can come home right now. I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the light on. In case you're searching, tell me what you're looking for anyways. Did you find it? Are you certain? Are you certain it's the real thing? Are you sitting at your window while he's sleeping, pulling back the curtain, looking for the moon? That's me smiling at you. If you're lost, high up in the mountain tops, I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the light on. And you can come home right now. I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the light on. I haven't lived long enough to preach, traveled far enough to see everything that makes me me. I guess that makes me incomplete. Too young to be taken for real, and too busy to know a good deal. Too high to catch my samurai tongue. I still believe the pen more mighty than the gun. Oh yeah, yeah. And I can't be the only one. If you feel like you've been out there forever, just floating on your lonely, thinking we can do so much better, you're not the only one.
These shows happen anytime, anywhere, any point in time. So just be prepared for, one of these shows to pop up. If you hit that subscribe button, you hit that like button, you know when these shows go live, which include but not limited to Bull's Thoughts, Bull and the Bartender Show, which we're currently using the graphics on now, and the one and only Social Reload Show. Those are the shows that you need to hit that subscribe button and like button on, that we can know when they're going on. Right now we're listening to SoFlo, which a phenomenal reggae jazz band. Love those guys. Those guys are really cool. Knew them for a while, for a long time. But thank you for all of the people who have listened to the shows, listened to this channel. I appreciate it so much. Kind of doing it from the ground up, which is great. Learning more and more about things, and then I can learn more about you guys that are listening. The ones that are spending the time, because you are. You're not the only one. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm not the only one either. I want to say thanks to Sanya for chiming in. Good morning, Bull. Thank you so much. Good morning to you as well. Thank you for joining and subscribing to the channel. 163 subscribers. We went from 161 to 163, which I know is probably not great, but for our world, for my world, it's great. I'm glad for all the subscribers. I'm glad for all the people who are listening even after the shows. You guys, what makes up this channel works. So we talked about, before the segment, and then we talked about how, that one thing that you have to hold on to, which, like I said, it applies differently to different people. It doesn't apply to everybody. But just think about that. Think about what, what's going on to your life and what's happening, and then figure out what your priorities are. What makes you happy? What really makes you happy? What makes you happy to you live in your life? I mean, that's got to be the things that you got to look at and judge for yourself. And that's where that one thing comes in, because whatever that one thing is that makes you happy, that's that one thing that's going to keep you alive. It's going to keep your passion going. When I worked at the radio station for 4 years, the pay sucked, but it was still that one thing, the passion. That's the thing. You got to focus on that one thing. And go on with that. But nevertheless, I do have to say one thing. Well, I do have to say one. Is it saying one thing more or less saying nothing? I don't know. I'm confused with it. But I do want to tell you, well, I'm not going to get into it now. I'll get into that later. But I don't know, I'm reading through all these news stories and I'm like, oh, God, it's all the same thing. Everybody is hitting everybody. Everybody is beating everybody. Everybody's robbing everybody. It's like, man, where is this world coming to where everything has just gone nuts? Everybody has gone crazy. Why can't you just drink, smoke a little bit, and just chill out? You know? I mean, is it really that big of a deal? I mean, 'cause that's the other thing I kind of think about too, not going back to the other deal, is like, is it really that big of a deal that, you know, somebody says something to you? I mean, I don't know. To each his own, I guess. But yeah, so keep the ones that you love close to you as much as you can, because you never know, you know, when that's it. The last day is done. You know. It's crazy because you don't know. Like for me, when I had my surgery, I was like, wow, this is crazy. But, you know, life takes a very strange turn. Just in a sense of like well, I guess especially after you have like a surgery like that, it just sort of takes a strange turn. You want to enjoy your life. You know, you want to enjoy what makes you happy. But again, everybody has to do what they have to do to make themselves happy. And that's the whole kit and caboodle. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, 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 crazy. We live in a crazy time, in a crazy world. What was the old saying that, well, not Tom Cruise, but guy from Fight Club. Can't remember his name. I'm sure I do, but I just can't remember it now. Can't remember it now, unfortunately. Can't remember his name, but he was one of the main characters on Fight Club. He was like the guy's alter ego. And if anybody's listening, including Sanya, if you know what who I'm talking about, the actor. I can't remember his name. It's bothering me now because I'm trying to remember his name and try to pull up the quote. Let's see. I can't think of the guy. I'm trying to tread water here, because usually I'll have somebody that's pulls it up and, oh yeah, it's this guy's name, but I can't think of the guy's name. Anyways, he talks about how, you know, things that we don't need, you know, things that in life we buy shit that we don't need. You know, oh, here it is. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We are the middle children of history. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is our spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives. We have been raised on television to believe that one day we'd be all millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't. We're only slowly learning that fact. And we're very, very pissed off. I think a lot of it hangs true because what we see in advertising and in this world is really just kind of placed in this first sentence. Advertising, and I quote, advertising has us chasing cars and clothes and working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. That's Tyler Durden, which I can't remember the guy's name for some odd reason. But that's a very strange, not very strange, but very powerful, quote. Because, I mean, it's true. A lot of people are doing. A lot of people can't even afford to do that, and they want to. But I guess the whole thing, when it comes down to the end of the day, is that, we have to decide on what we want to do. Because if not, we're going to slowly, maybe not even slowly anymore, but we're going to bring our society into this great unofficial depth. And it's going to get nasty. It's going to get nastier than what it is now, I can tell you that much. It's not going to be pretty, I can tell you that much. I do want to tell you something new. I know. That's true. Why is it not working? I had it all set up.
Make it okay. There's always some reason
Why
to
is
feel
it
not good enough.
What happened?
And it's hard at the end of the day.
Check that.
I need some distraction. Oh, beautiful release. Memories seep from my veins. Let me be empty. Oh, weightless, and maybe I'll find
Alright, well, I guess I am on the air. I'm not
peace
seeing any
today.
audio tags going off. Well, I just wanted to tell you that how much I enjoy you guys listening to my show. Why is this not working? So weird. I want to thank you for giving your time and listening to the show. You guys are wonderful. But I do got to tell you that if you want to contribute to the show, there's always a way to do that. I mean, we're always looking for people to contribute, and we would love for you to contribute. We would love for you to sit there and do something like that. Hold on. Audio went out of whack. once I get the audio back, you'll see what I mean. I'm so sorry. My bad. I don't know what's going on. I'm still doing it. Okay. I don't know why I can't control it. It's weird. So, just remember that if you have a second, have some cash, extra cash, just hit the link up there and just, if you want to donate a couple bucks, that's cool. Because we need a board. We do. We need so much equipment. I know. It's very tragic. Please donate to the show. The radio listeners are hungry for and clamoring for the show. Can't do it without you. Please donate today. We thank you so much. Bulls Radio Lounge. YouTube.com. There'll be a link up there that you can donate to. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it so much. Okay. So, I think I'm going to end the show there. I usually don't do this long a show, but that's not the right one. I'm going to do... That's not it. Here it is. This guy. Alright, I'm in the show with a little bit more flow. You guys take it easy. Be back with more Bulls Thoughts later on. Don't forget, tonight is the Social Reload Show with me. Oh, come on, really? With me and Matt the Savior. Please join us 9 o'clock tonight, only on Bulls Radio Lounge, YouTube.com. Just search Bulls Radio Lounge. I am Bull for Bulls Thoughts. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Peace out. Holla.
And I'm waiting on a few things. I keep it moving like the devil is pursuing. Stay at work, my improvements need improving. 2 cents need proofing before I put it to the loose sleeve. Stuck stupid and I'm waiting on a few things. I keep it moving like the devil is pursuing. Stay at work, my improvements need improving. I slip through these streets like I'm dreaming lucid. I'm jumping mountains. I'm cutting backyards. I'm gonna see you soon, see you there where you are. I'm jumping mountains, I'm cutting
damn your luck. I know them waters and them will get rough. So hang tough, hang tough. God damn your luck. I know them waters and them will get rough. And them will get rough. Them will get rough. Hang tough.
What up, son?
Someone told me long ago there's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. When it's over, so they say it'll rain sunny day. I know shining down like water. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? It's coming down on a sunny day. Yesterday and days before, sun is cold and rain is hard. I know it's been that way for all my time. Around long it goes through the surf fast and slow. I know it can't stop. I wonder. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? It's coming down on a sunny day. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on sunny days. That's right. It's coming down on sunny days. It's coming down on sunny days. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. In the city of thorns and horse and crow, she a butterfly, so perfect. Girl learns a few things on her own, with daddy gone and mama working. Never show, never know. Pull down your sleeve, let nobody see what's underneath. And I'll pick you up, and I'll hold you higher than you've ever been before. I'll raise you up even higher when evil is aspire, and try to keep your fire alive. Strong like your mama, girl, I know. But when you're falling on the floor, I'll pick you up, and I'll hold you higher than you've ever been, ever been. Story pick up with our girl down on her luck again. Her rendition of Vader, so now she looked to supplement all the feeling covenant. I am no Darth Vader, no, I only mean to compliment. Help you through the heart of it, never show. Now who's the toughest ragamuffin I know? Pull down your sleeve, left Don't let them see ya crying when you're all out of fight. I'll pick you up, and I'll hold you higher than you've ever been before. I'll raise you up even higher when evil is aspire, and try to keep your fire low. Strong like your mama, girl, I know. But when you're falling on the floor, I'll pick you up, and I'll hold you higher than you've ever been before. You have walked through my
What up, what up? SoFlo here with Higher Education, College Park.
I love trying to find my contact lenses,